Hello everyone, welcome to Gadget Mix, and today we are going to take a look at the GTX 1060. So I personally think that GTX 1060 is everything a gamer would need in a computer. And if you are planning to do 1080p 60 fps gaming, or some hardcore video editing, or you want to run CAD oriented programs that make use of GPU as a relation, you should definitely consider getting a GTX 1060. You can save a lot of money by not buying a 1070 or a 1080 Ti or 1080 GPU, and because I personally think that 1060 has enough horsepower, more than enough horsepower I would say, to run any app or any game that requires a strong GPU with ease. And I strongly suggest the people who are considering buying the GTX 1050 Ti and GTX 1050 to strongly pour in some more dollars and get a 1060. I bought myself a single fan Zotac GTX 1060. This is the 6 GB model. There are 3 GB models as well, and I personally think for almost anyone 3 GB would suffice. But I got the 6 GB one because I was getting a great deal on Amazon.com. So this is a 1060 model, and I have already installed it on my PC. Have it running 750 watt PSU. It's overkill. You can run it just fine on a 650 watt PSU, or maybe 500. So this is single fan, and it's running just fine. I could have installed one more GPU, but hey, if I was a miner I would have done that, but yeah, what the hell. So I'm running it in conjunction with the AMD FX 4300. I'm using Antec cooler to keep it running cool at all times. So let's see how it goes, how it performs on my computer. So at first I thought of running some benchmarks, but then I thought that 1060 is not a really new GPU, so there are already thousands of people who have run benchmarks on their computers. So I went to this site called gpu.userbenchmark.com. So it basically shows the user ratings of various GPUs. So on top we have the GTX 1070, which is more powerful than the 1060 6 GB model, which I have. Let me show you. I've got a 1060 GTX 6 GB model, and that is ranking on number 3. But I personally think it should be on number 1. Why? Because of this price tag. It's $330, and this is $545. And keep in mind the 1070 eats more power too. So on the value, when you just consider the value thing, it's simply the best. I mean, you can get nearly 3 1066 gigabytes for one 1080 Ti, and that is why I think the 1060 is best GPU right now. So in terms of 3D speed, it gets 71%, still higher than the RX 480, which is the direct competitor to the 1060. Both of them are mostly identically priced, but I think you'll be able to get the 1060 for a slightly cheaper price tag, because of the mining craze. The miners are getting the most AMD GPUs out there. They're after the AMD GPUs like anything. The 1060 is also good for mining though. I am right now, in fact, running a miner to mine a currency called Komodo here. So I have undervolted my GPU and overclocked the core speed and memory clock. It's running just fine under 75%, and I'm even recording this video as well, so no major burden on the GPU. So the 1060 has a DPU of 120 watts, which is also awesome. So you don't need a super powerful PSU like in case of 1080 to run the GPU. It will just run fine on any on most PSUs just fine. So let's take a look at the Amazon listings of 1060 GPU. So on Amazon.com you can buy a 1060 6GB for about $300. This is a dual fan GPU. I've got a single fan version. Single fans just work fine, but if you are on tight budget, you can save about $80 by going for the 3GB one. EVG and Gigabyte both are awesome. This will give you better cooling though, but the 1060 just doesn't run hot. This is the AMP edition, $288. But for most games and video purposes, the 3GB one will do just fine. It offers better bang for money as well. The 1050 is about $159. So by spending just about $60 on GTX 1060 3GB, you are getting much better power and performance. The 1070 is about $434, $439, so a little bit on the expensive side, about $140 more expensive than the 1066 GB which I have. The 1080 Ti is another story. It's about $799 here, $899, $819, $824. So it's really on the expensive side. So most of us are going to do 1080p gaming anyway. So unless you are into 4K gaming, you go for 1080 Ti. But for most of us, the 1060 model will do just fine. So hope you guys like this video. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Bye bye.